Hi everyone, I'm Laura from Allegro Conspirator, and today I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a musician with a visual impairment. So the condition I have is called keratoconus. In my case, it's definitely hereditary, as I have a cousin on my dad's side and also my mum that have the same thing, but I am most definitely affected worse because one of mine actually ruptured. But we'll go into that in a second. So keratoconus is when the cornea, which is the clear bit over the front of your eye, is basically progressively getting thinner. And as it gets thinner as the edges, it bulges out in the middle, which causes distorted and poor vision if left untreated. So I would just like to make clear that I have not been visually impaired since birth. I was diagnosed about 3 or 4 years ago with this. So I'm currently waiting to be fitted with a specific hard contact lens called a scleral lens, which is about yay big and literally covers your whole eye, which essentially reshapes your eye to the right shape because mine sticks out. So basically I have it in both eyes, but my left eye is affected the worst. I am classed as legally blind in my left eye and I'm no longer able to drive because of it. So it was about 2 years ago that my left one actually bulged out so much it ruptured. I have never been in so much pain in my life. It was awful. I looked like Marilyn Manson for a week where it went all cloudy. I laugh about it now, but it actually seriously was awful. The only treatment options is a particular surgery which just stops the progression of it, which doesn't help with your vision at all. Glasses don't necessarily help because, you know, your cornea is the wrong shape. You basically have a form of astigmatism because your eye's the wrong shape. If these scleral contact lenses don't work for me, then I will be looking at a cornea transplant for my left eye. But anyway, that's the lowdown roughly on what I've got. If you are interested more, it is keratoconus. I will put the spelling up here for you. So if you are interested more in that, then just Google search it and there's loads of stuff about it online. So I particularly today want to talk about how it has affected me as a musician and how I have overcome those challenges. So to begin with, obviously it was a really hard thing for me to come to terms with, and my mental health did suffer significantly within the first sort of 6 to 9 months of when I was diagnosed. You know, to be 23, 24 and be told that essentially your vision is deteriorating at such a rate that you might be legally blind in the next few years is really hard to deal with. So up until that point, I have always been a very good sight reader. You can stick something in front of me, mainly recorded, not so much piano because my bass clef was quite shocking at that point. Anyway, treble clef for recorder, and I would be well away. So for my grade 8 recorder exam, I literally only dropped 2 marks in my sight reading. And this was before all the eye trouble. So obviously now it does make that difficult where my vision is very distorted. Sometimes I misread notes. So if it's say a G on the G line, I might see it as an E or a B. So the line below or the line above. So now I have to basically enlarge everything. So I usually enlarge everything from A4 to A3 size. I do also have a tablet so I can enlarge digitally, which helps a lot. So I also invested in a Google Chromecast because then I can cast things to my big 42-inch TV and I can see it a lot better. So it is a bit of a pain in a way that I have to sort of go through all that effort and such, but if I don't, then I am in a lot of trouble. So for exams and things now, because I've recently sat a few piano grade exams, I get 2 minutes instead of 30 seconds on my sight reading and I get an enlarged score. One good thing it has done, I mean, I've always kind of prized myself on having a good memory anyway, but now my memory is even better because where I can't sight read so well anymore, I find it so much easier to just memorise the piece I'm playing. Obviously muscle memory goes a long way. So thankfully I am not at the point where I need braille scores because braille scores are actually a tough thing, but I do know someone who does, so I'm going to try and get her for an interview at some point for this channel. As they're really interesting and it's just a completely different take on it. I will say I have noticed as well how my sense of hearing has developed a little bit more. I mean, they do say that as one sense deteriorates that others kind of come more forward, but I've always had really sensitive ears anyway because of the damn perfect pitch. So the other downside I found is I love reading books, both non-fiction and fiction, and I just can't sit and do it anymore because the words go everywhere. So now I have to do a lot of audiobooks and things, but obviously but obviously a lot of the books to do with music at the level I'm at and things are not available as audiobooks, so I literally have to read sort of 10 minutes at a time and take an hour's break and 10 minutes again. My eyes also get very fatigued very quickly, or very tired very quickly, also quite dry and irritated, especially if I'm staring at a computer screen for ages, like if I'm doing some work on Spalius or Logic, or I'm staring at a score, like a whole orchestral score or something for that. I just can't deal with it now. I have to put certain eye drops in that help rehydrate my eyes. So going forward, it is definitely a bit of more of a challenge than say someone who is not visually impaired, especially because of the type of condition I have where I can misread notes so easily. Anyway, that's it from me today. So if you have any more questions about my visual impairment or how it affects me as a musician that I've not covered in this video, then please pop it down below and I will answer as many as I can. Please like and subscribe to me for all future music content. I do both classical, rock, pop and metal and music theory, tutorials, some random bits and everything. Might even branch out into comedy if you're lucky. I'm joking, that's not going to happen. Anyway, take care, stay safe, have a good one and see you in the next video. Bye!